In today's episode of Gardening 101, we visited a show garden that brought all aspects of garden design into one space while showcasing new plants that are on trial. Now, if you're looking for a fun garden project to get the little ones involved, then Linda Garvad of Sought After Seedlings has the answer.
When school holidays come around, I know that everyone is a bit of a flap because they think, what can they do? So we've got a couple of projects that you really are going to enjoy doing with your kids. It will get them into the garden, especially the organic vegetable garden. We're going to start with making biodegradable pots. And the beauty about a biodegradable pot is you don't have to buy seedling trays. You can make your own out of newspaper, and you plant the whole little pot once the seedling has grown into the soil. You'll see over here we've got some already growing, and they are in our biodegradable pots that we made a few weeks ago, and we germinated the seeds in here and we're going to plant them out in a few minutes. So what you need to make a biodegradable pot is 12 centimeter strips of newspaper and a wine bottle with an inverted bottom. That's quite important because you're going to push the paper down into this inversion at the bottom. So let's get started. Lay the newspaper in front of you so that you can roll the bottle all the way to the end. Place the bottle in the middle, so you want half of the bottle covering the newspaper and the other half left open. Roll the bottle all the way along the strip of newspaper. Make sure you keep it straight and quite firm so that the newspaper is quite tight around the bottle. The bottom half is what you're going to stick down into the inversion of the bottle. There you go. You've got your perfect little pot at the perfect height. We've made a couple over here already, and we're going to plant some seeds so we can show you exactly how it's done. What we're going to do is we're going to plant one little pot up with these purple beans. We call them magic beans because when you cook them, they turn bright green. And then we're going to plant the other little pot with a baby marrow. So let's get going. What we have here is some lovely organic potting mix that we've made ourselves, and we're going to fill 2 of these pots right to the top. There you go. We've filled these up to the top, and we've made ourselves 2 little labels. The one says purple bean and the other one baby marrow. Now we're really into upcycling and recycling, so we cut these out of an old milk container and we used a permanent marker to label them. We're going to put these in first before we plant our seeds so that we remember what we've planted. There you go. We have our bean. We're just going to make a hole in the center of the pot, 2 centimeters deep. Pop the bean in there and cover it up. You can see that I'm using my fingers gently just to cover over the bean. Don't push the soil down. You don't need to do that, and you don't want to take out all the oxygen. Right, the next is we're going to plant our marrow seed. The good thing about using beans and marrow seeds is that they're quite large seeds. They germinate very quickly and they're easy for children to handle. So there you go, we've got our marrow seed. We're going to do the same thing. Make a hole in the center of the pot, about 2 centimeters deep. Pop the seed in, gently cover with soil and water them. The great thing about this little contraption is when I water it, you'll see how wonderfully smooth and gentle the water comes out of this top, which is what you want because you don't want to disturb or disperse the seed or get water all over the place. So we're going to water these. You might be thinking, how is the newspaper possibly going to stay intact? But you'll be really surprised. The trick is to make a whole lot of them and pack them quite closely together so that they keep each other firm. You can see that we did these. These are already quite tall, but you only have to wait until the seedling is 4 centimeters tall, and then you can pop them in the ground. You don't have to remove these seedlings from the little pot. You plant the whole thing into the ground. You don't disturb the roots, and of course, the newspaper slowly degrades, which is wonderful. It also acts as worm food. Another excellent project that we have, your kids will absolutely love it, and your littlies will actually enjoy doing this as well, is making seed bombs using paper. What you'll need is a colander, an old dishcloth. You can use an old t-shirt, that's perfect as well. A mixer or a blender. A silicone ice tray. I've got a really exciting one with little pineapples. You can use a cookie tray, a cookie silicone tray as well, but you've got to keep them quite small. And you need some really good quality seeds. Now the seeds that you can use to make seed bombs are things like radish, beetroot, a couple of flowers, marigolds, nasturtiums. Those are the kind of things that they don't mind growing close together. So just keep that in mind. So let's get started. I've already torn up the 4 pieces of paper. I'm going to place them in my blender. You then need 1 cup of cold water. This water, as you can see, is red. I use some beetroot juice to color it because I want my seed bombs to come out pink. You can use turmeric, you'll get a yellow color, or parsley juice, you'll get a green color. So let's pour that in. Right, I'm going to close that up. It's better if an adult does this so that there are no problems, and blenders can really be dangerous. Voila, we have a perfect paper pulp here, which is what we want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the colander, put our old dishcloth in the center, and pour the paper pulp into the dishcloth. Right, now I'm going to take my radish seed and I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of radish seed in the pulp. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to mix all these seeds through because I want to get them evenly dispersed, well, as evenly dispersed as possible. There you go, that looks like a great mix. You can actually see the seeds and they're all over. Once I've done that, I want to squeeze all the water out of the pulp, and that's where my dishcloth comes in handy. Make sure you get as much water out as you possibly can. That should do it. Let me show you what that looks like. You can see most of the color is even gone, but when it dries, it does come back like a slight pink hue. I'm going to move this out the way, and we're going to now fill our ice tray. Squash the paper so that it's firmly into the ice tray and it covers all the corners. There you go, they're done. Now I'm going to put these in the sun to dry. It will probably take about 24 hours, and once they're nice and dry, you just pop them out. How you plant these, firstly, you must keep them in a glass jar in a cool, dark place, not in the fridge. You'd need to dig about a 3 centimeter hole into the soil and pop these in, cover it up, water it, look after it every day, and watch them grow.
After the break, we join Michael Rickoff as he takes us through the next step of designing your garden.